Hello and good day everyone. Welcome to my channel, Tea Time and Spells. My name is Melissa and in today's video I'm actually going to be doing a post review of my latest diamond painting completion, which is the beautiful Fairy Lights by Ivy Dolomore. This was a long time in coming. I actually finished this 10 days ago. Yeah, so I've been meaning to get around to doing this post review video, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do my journal entry with you guys as well, because why not? And then I will go over what I liked, what I didn't like, what some of my thoughts were, and then I will show you the completed finish. So if that sounds interesting, then grab yourself a snack, maybe a cup of tea. I am drinking some lovely blackberry tea today, and let's get journaling. Okay, so I kind of got a little bit of a layout going on what I want to do with this piece. These are big stickers. It came on a big sheet, and I actually have it right here. I started cutting some of it, but it came like on a big sheet like this. It was a big sticker sheet, and I just kind of cut it down so that I can get it to fit in my book. Normally the stickers that come in the kits now with Diamond Art Club are smaller like this. This is another older one, and this is kind of what I did for my layout as well. And I'm probably gonna go with something maybe a little bit similar. I'll probably have to trim down the Fairy Lights one. Yeah, because man, she is a bit big, isn't she? So let's get cutting. I'm gonna trim this down just so I can get it to fit. How is everybody's day going? It is Monday the 25th while I'm working on this, and this has been something on my mind that I'm like, oh, I really gotta get this going. And I'm so happy I'm finally getting around to it. Let's see here. If I do that with some washi tape maybe, let's see if we can't trim that down just a smidge. It is hard to believe, because it's, yeah, today's the 25th, that this weekend in the US is Labor Day weekend. Like, holy cow, guys. Where did the time go? I would like to know, because it flew. It seemed like time just flew for me. My goodness. Holy cow. Okay, so I've got her, I've got my basic information. I'll put a little blurb here. I want to make sure I got room to put the number, because this is number, no spoilers, this is number 13. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead, and this is a sticker, which is nice because I could just peel it back and stick it in. I love that. I do like the fact that Diamond Art Club does full stickers for everything. It just makes it so much more convenient when doing our journals. I don't keep track of like how many drills were placed or how long it took, because I have no clue. I mean, it shows here that I started this on July 12th and I finished it on August 15th. However, I started this like at the same time as Night Melody by Margaret Morales. And I pretty much just did Night Melody. I had planned on swapping between the two so that I was working on a round at the same time as a square, but I enjoyed Night Melody so much that I just wanted to finish it. So it kind of wasn't a very fair one. Oh, whoops. Get in there. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that looks so good. I love that. It fits with the fairy theme. Yes. Now, let's see here. I got a kind of like a turquoise color to kind of match her because I thought that would work really well. And this is number 13. Let's go right here in the middle. Yeah, like right there I think will work. Okay. Does anybody else do this? Does anybody else kind of, you know, have fun with their journaling of their diamond paintings? Do you guys even keep track of this? Originally I didn't, but then I thought, you know what? How fun would it be to kind of see how everything's evolved since starting? And I'm glad I did, because my tastes have evolved just in 6 months. Well, I suppose it hasn't been 6 months. It's been longer than that now. 8 months? Because I started it at the beginning of the year. Yeah, 8 months. My taste has definitely changed. Before, I would gravitate towards anything and everything that was fantasy and mystical and all that. Now, I'm more picky-choosy, but I think that has more to do with being realistic about my time and what I can accomplish in a short period of time and how I want to prioritize that. I think that's kind of the biggest reason why. Okay, and then we're gonna do my stars up here. And for this one, she's gonna be a 4-star. And I'm gonna explain why. So while working on Night Melody, I found myself wanting to work on this one because I wanted to work on a square at the same time as doing the round. Thought it would be really fun. But when I was starting this up, there were a couple things that I kind of noticed. The drills were more trash prone, and that was particularly with the darker colors, which I understand is kind of like the norm, but it was one particular color. I want to say it was 934. I'll have to look at the legend here of the canvas, but I want to say it was like 934. It wasn't black. It was I think it was 934. And what was really interesting is that the color was supposed to be like a dark, I don't know if it was a dark blue or like a dark brownish color, but half the drills were translucent, which was really weird, and it kept throwing me off really badly. Like I would go to, you know, place down a drill and it would look weird. So then, you know, it would throw me off when it came to placing it. And in addition to that, there were a lot of tabs on these ones and a lot of dimples on the top. I guess you would call them that. And it just really, yeah, it really threw me off to the point where I didn't enjoy it as much. Another thing is, because this was an older kit, this was the version that I got from a D-Stash group. This was before the most recent version, and I don't know if there was a difference in grid type or not, but I found the grid to be off where, and I don't think it's the grid, I think it's really the drills, because there would be times when they would be slotting into place perfectly, and then there would be times when I would have them too tight and they'd be popping, or they would be gappy. And I'll show you guys what I mean in just a moment. But yeah, it was frustrating. So I got this off a D-Stash group. And my thoughts. Okay. She's gorgeous. She is gorgeous. And when she was done, loved it. Absolutely loved how she turned out. I wish that I had maybe had a little bit more for embellishments, especially with the wings, because I think that would have made it pop. She was incredibly confetti heavy too, which I will show you. So I'm going to put very confetti heavy. And I'm not a big fan of confetti. and that kind of added to my mood, I think, my vibe of just not really enjoying it as much. So very confetti heavy, and then the drills were very trash prone. And I'm gonna put dimples, tabs, and one color translucent. Can't spell. And because of that, it was more of like a 4-star for me. And it was mainly because of that. The image itself though, oh my gosh, she was gorgeous, loved it. I just wish that I had better drill quality, I think, with this particular one. And I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more too if I had done what I originally wanted to do, which was swap between this one and Night Melody. But at the same time, I really was enjoying my time with Night Melody, so I didn't want to stop. So I guess that's a hard one to do. That's a hard choice, because do you want to keep slogging through something just because, or do you want to swap it out with another one that gives you joy, but then stop that one that's giving you joy and you're having the most fun with, just to continue working on this just for the sake of progress? It's an interesting conversation, for sure. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on it. And I think this conversation is the biggest reason that people are supportive of multiple whips, is because if you are working on something that maybe feels like more of a chore at times because of confetti, or, you know, the opposite, if you're not into color blocking, then it's nice to be like, okay, I need to take a step back from this one. Let's work on this other one that gives me joy. And then, you know, you work on another one and you're like, oh, this is fun. This is great. And then you look at this one and you're like, oh, you know what? I think I'm recharged. I'm ready to go again. And I think I'm going to try that with my next couple, because I'm going to be working on I'm going to have 3 whips going for September. And I think I'm going to try to do that mindset where I try to dedicate just a span of attention and time for each one. And then if I feel like a little bit of like it's bogging me down, or I'm getting a little tired or burnt out, I swap to a different one. And I'm going to really try to document how I feel about that, how that worked. But I mean, overall, yes, I got it done in a month. But realistically, this probably took me 2.5 to 3 weeks, because a week of this time I was out in California. And I was almost done with Fairy Lights. I had just an itty bitty little section left before I flew out. And it took me like a couple days to finish that section. So realistically, this probably took me more like 2.5, 3 weeks. But because of being sick and then, you know, real life and then going on vacation, it took me a little bit longer. So this was my 13th finish of the year. Let's take a look at the actual kit. All right, here she is in all her glory. I could almost fit her all in frame. Kind of scooch her up just a bit. There we go, that way you can kind of see this bottom section. All of this, as you could see and imagine, was confetti. And there were a couple of really special drills in here, which were the ABs, because this kit predated fairy dust drills. So it had just like the ABs to kind of make things pop. One of the embellishments I wish I would have made with this one would have been fairy dust drills, especially for the wings. I think that would have looked really good. But I don't know if you guys can tell, but looking at it from here, there's some gapping. And, you know, this kit had a couple of problems that I forgot to mention. It did have problems with glue, and this was the kit that I did do like a test of the adhesive on. And I did have a couple of problems with some drills popping off after I was finished with it. So the glue kind of was losing its durability, I guess. I don't know. I never keep it open to the air. I always keep it covered with a film or something. But I noticed, like, I can see some gapping, especially like right here in her wings. The dark colors, you could see it more. Not too bad in the camera, which is nice because you guys get a better look at it. But like, I could see just this whole crease right here. And I do multi-place, but even then, even with me trying to like space things out, I could see the gapping really badly. And I could see some of like the messed up drills, especially like in her skin tone a little bit. Like you could see kind of here, they had like these little like nicks or like black spots on them. Let me see if I can't zoom that in just a little bit. Bring it up. Yeah, look at that. Like it's like just dirty or something, but it doesn't scratch off or anything. It was just, I don't know. And I mean, this kit was sealed, so it's not like it was tampered with or anything like that. It's just the way the drills came out. And the color that I was talking about earlier that had like a translucent to it was not 939. It was 938, the color next to it. And it was this kind of dark brown next to the black. And it also was next to the dark blue as well. And the thing is you can't really see here. It was more noticeable. You can see all my gapping, my goodness. It was very noticeable when I was going to place, because it would, like the light would shine through it. It was trippy because it was going in the trees. And I was thinking to myself, well, I mean, if it's gonna be a translucent drill, at least it's gonna make the transition kind of seem more natural, I guess, like lights going through it. But yeah, a little bit of trash drills and the gapping with the charting for sure. I can really tell it. Yeah, so the gapping and the drills were a bigger problem. And I don't know if, I mean, I came across a lot of like not symmetrical shaped drills. In fact, I can kind of see a pretty messed up section kind of like right here, where this, like this drill in particular, holy cow. And the light keeps on reflecting the drills, it makes it look shiny. But like right here, if I can get a good angle, there we go. This drill was just really odd shaped, and it had, yeah, like the gapping. I really should have been much more careful with the drills that I was placing, and just made more of an effort to pick out a lot of the trash. I did come pretty close to running out of some drills. That 939 and 938 colors were big ones for sure. And I think I had just a couple of 310 left. Thankfully, I have like a whole container of these filled with spare drills, and 310 is not in short supply, but it was still kind of disappointing. So yeah, this run for this particular painting kit, I kind of had a bad batch of drills, and it does happen, which is unfortunate. And I don't know if it was the charting or just me in particular when it came to placing, but yeah, a lot of the gapping, and unfortunately just more noticeable with the dark colors. And the background was pretty dark. So that was, it made it more noticeable. And also when it came to like her skin tone, that as well. As for the rendering of her, I thought her face turned out so good. And like her wings and everything, I just wish I had some extra fancy drills, like fairy dust drills for sure, to make things pop. You know, if I had like maybe metallic drills or something for like her little earring, I think that would have looked pretty. But for what it was, this turned out really nice. But, you know, because of some of the flaws and everything that I ran into, that's kind of why I gave it a 4-star. But the image itself, absolutely gorgeous, and definitely fit the Midsummer Night's Dream kind of summer theme that I was going with personally. So I did enjoy it for that. And she definitely sparkles, that's for sure. She definitely sparkles and glitters. But I'm like running my hand through, and I can feel so many that are just wanting to pop up, even though I've kind of pushed them down and rolled it a few times. But I don't know if that's because of the drills, the gapping, or if it's because of the glue kind of not, I don't know if it's corroding or what, if that's the right term, but I don't know. just something that, you know, I was aware of. I think I might go out and buy some sealer and try my hand with sealing her, because I'm afraid that if I try to roll her up and store her, a lot of the drills are going to pop up. So this might be a good test for me to go out and try some sealer. I know that there's a few brands. I'm going to have to watch Katie from Diamonds and Washi. She's got a series, and she's got a video about diamond sealer and how she goes about sealing her paintings. So I think I'm going to go ahead and watch her video. I definitely recommend you guys do the same if you're looking at sealing your paintings, and give my hand at that and see how that works, because she's very pretty and I want to keep her intact as much as possible. So, but yeah, that's it. That is Fairy Lights by Ivy Dollamore. Total kit is 22 by 28 inches, and she had 60 colors with 3 ABs. Yeah, no, 4 ABs, because the white one was an AB. Yes, 4 ABs. Yep, and she is number 13. Lucky or unlucky number 13, who knows? But she was my 13th finish for the year. So that's going to be it for me for this video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button. And if you are curious about future videos, then definitely hit subscribe. And then comment in the comment section below what your guys' thoughts are. Have you tried sealing your own diamond painting? What kind of sealer do you recommend? Because I would like to know all of the recommendations and see what's available, especially local for me, because I'd like to order local if possible. But that's going to be it for me for this episode. Thanks again for watching, you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!